Welcome into another video. My name is Luna, aka Krista, aka the owner and creator of Krista Marie Designs, and I'm going to go in and show you how I create my stickers that I've designed and sell on my Etsy and Shopify shops. We are using Canva. Canva is my favorite go-to for a lot of things, business, personal, and also teaching my kids as well as my own students how to be creative with something right at the tip of your hands. So I run and own Krista Marie Designs, and if you ever want to check out the shop, it will be linked down below. I also have a Shopify and an Etsy that has stationeries, jewelry, and a range of different things that I have created over the years. Krista Marie Designs is my heart and soul. I created the shop back in 2010 as a single mother going through college, and graduating myself is my highest priority. But when I created Krista Marie Designs, I wanted to showcase my art, the things that I love to create and make smile. Since 2010, I have evolved. I started out making jewelry, and now we have a Shopify shop and an Etsy shop. My Shopify is mainly based on stationaries where you can find die cut stickers and new notepads along with more stationery products coming. My Etsy shop has a little bit of both of how I started with jewelry, other fashion accessories, and my stationaries along with stickers that you can get. I offer a wide variety, great deals, and everything is handmade and designed by myself in my home. Sometimes I get a little bit of help from my little helpers. So if you would like to shop my Krista Marie Designs, it will always be linked down below in my profile. And you can contact me if you have any questions or concerns. But so far, we are still running strong, homegrown, and proud. So getting right into our video today, I again am going to be showing you how I create stickers. Now I do have a box of that I've already created, but if you're starting out and you've never done this before, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and run into this and go ahead and get started. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a design. Now, what I normally do, I like to work with a Squarespace. You can go and customize your own space, or I usually do a little trick where I find Instagram, and you can just type in Instagram, and when you get Instagram, you're gonna get a range of different sizes. You can do a profile picture size, or you can do a square size. I like clicking on the square size just because I like working with that space of area, because what I'm gonna take is gonna be a transparent anyway. So I don't know, it's the size that I like to do. So I already have a folder of stickers that I have designs for my business and stuff like that. As you can see, I love creating. So we're going to go ahead and, like, we're coming in to a blank canvas. What you're going to do is you can upload your own designs. If you create your own designs and draw them, you can easily upload them, and you honestly don't need to go through Canva. You could upload them straight to the Cricut design space, because that's where we're going to be cutting out our sticker and getting it all prepared to how we need. Now, like I said, I love using Canva, and I love the elements and everything that we can grab to drag and drop, stack, and make things our own. We're going to make a fun little humorous sticker today that my friend and I were just randomly talking, and it randomly just popped up in my head. So I liked making fun and humorous stickers. So we're gonna find some pollen. We're gonna mainly use graphics. I think I want to use something like that. We're gonna go ahead, grab that, and see. I don't know if I want to make it cute, or I think we are going to go ahead and go with that one. And then I also want to find an EpiPen. Where are we going with this? I have a range of allergies, and it is something that is a drastic situation, but we're going to make something really humorous and really cute. As you can see, I'm going through and just typing what I want. I'm trying to find exactly I think this is one that I maybe want to use. So you're probably like, what in the world is going on? These are just some random things that's happening, but you'll kind of see it come together as we're doing it. The joy with Canva is you can type in whatever it is that you're looking for. This is the basic of basic. If you want to get into a little bit more intensive things, that will come at a later time, but this is something literally type, search, point, click, stretch, layer that anyone can do with basic text skills. So now we're going to go ahead into our text box. I usually like to try and start with the second one, add subheading, because the size is big enough that I can see it. All right, so we're going to title this, and then we're going to have some fun with it. All right, so we have some humor going on here. I have really bad allergies. And one day we were having a funny conversation, and I thought my friend said nature's condom. And we were clearly talking about allergies. And I was like, oh my God, that is like either a great sticker or something great to go on a shirt. So we're going to play around with this and figure out what it is, how we want to make this a sticker, and how we're going to manipulate it. There's a lot of different things that we can do between the text, between the picture, and all of that. I think I want to have this more so kind of like that. I think that's what we do. I do want to include the EpiPen in some way. If I did this one, but then we can go over to effects, and if we wanted to curve it, we could curve it a little bit to kind of give it something a little different. We could do that, and then we could even duplicate it and add an effect if we wanted to. We could change our color a little bit if we wanted to. What if we actually took this and then position this backward? Ooh, I actually like that. This is me just randomly going at it and just playing with it to see what we have. Hear me out. I'm thinking of, no, I don't think I want to do that. I was like, you know what if I tilt it a little bit? I'm thinking this is actually looking kind of cool. I'm also thinking of how the sticker would eventually cut out and how this would go. That's why I'm wondering, do I still want to add more to the background? Maybe? Or is that going to be too much? If I tilt this to where there's a little bit more blowing. Ooh, I think I like that. Like, I like that it's going above. Do we want this completely to the front? I think I do. There we go. I actually like that I added that. That filled up that little center space. All right, so I'm not liking this one, so we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. I actually like this. That was very random of what I did. Sometimes the random is actually what works. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our image over to our Cricut design space, and we're going to get it set up as a sticker over there. So what we do is from Canva, you are going to download your image. I prefer a PNG to make it a transparent, because it's going to make it a transparent anyway. But if I can go ahead and already alter it over as a transparent, that's one less step. It's already done. So on our right hand side, we're going to hit share. We're going to hit download, and we're going to go into PNG and then click transparent background. We're going to go ahead and click the one that we are on. I love that it's 33. That's like my number of choice. And now we're going to download. This is going to download as a PNG to our computer. If you didn't know, Design Space with Cricut does take JPEG, PNG, and a couple other ones. But when doing stickers, I really like to stick with a transparent PNG. So let's go ahead and get we have our Design Space open, and we're going to go ahead and go to my canvas, and we are going to start out with a new product here. I'm going to go ahead and go to upload, and we're going to upload our image. And again, it takes a JPEG, PNG, GIF, SVG, DXF, HEIC, and a BMP. All right, so I know where mine is. It's in my downloads. So we're going to go ahead and download our nature's condom that we're going to be creating. And as you can see, it is our backdrop that we want. And if you needed to erase anything, remove the background, all the things that you needed, you could do that here. We're going to go ahead, apply, and continue. We're going to do a flat graphic. Depending on what you would needing for a sticker, we're going to do this because this creates a single layer full color image for print and then cut projects with a home printer, because we're going to be printing out our own sticker that we have created ourselves. We're going to hit continue, and I'm going to put this in my sticker folder, and then we're going to hit upload, and now we're going to get our picture ready and set. All right, so what we notice of when we have our dandelion here, because this was already a PNG, you see how the dandelions aren't completely exactly what we want. That happens. In this case, we're going to go ahead and go back, and we're not going to save it as a transparent. We're still going to do the JPEG, but sometimes in this situation, because I need that detail, we're going to go ahead and not do the transparent, and I'm going to go ahead and just download it that way. We're going to I'm going to go ahead and do a PNG, but I'm not going to check the transparent background, and we're going to re-download it and re-add it, and then we're going to go from there, since that way we can really edit it a lot better in Canva. And sometimes it's just a process. That's how you have to do it sometimes when you bring it in, and you want to make sure that you're getting exactly what you want. Now from here, I'm going to show you a couple different ways. If you want to erase any of the background, you can go through and get rid of as much as you want if you just want to ensure that so much of it is going to get touched. I'm going to show you what that's going to do, and in case you mess up, you can come back. I'm going to go ahead and show you what will happen with that if you go ahead and go through and remove our background. You could do an automatic remove of the background. I'm going to show you here what manually this is going to do when you honestly try and get it as close as possible if this is something that you are wanting to do. And this is a lot of practice with me painting with my mouse, so just know it's not always this easy when you have an image there. All right, so say this is how we want to end up putting it through. We're going to hit apply and continue, and then we're going to have our flat graphic, and we're going to go here, and that is what we're going to have, and then we're going to hit upload. So as you see here, we have our image now. We have the detail that you want, but it still looks a little funky. We're going to go through, and we're going to click on create a sticker up at the top. We're going to do a kiss cut with a die cut border. I'm going to do a thin border around it, and then we're going to do a die cut as well. So if you ever want to see what that border is going to look like, you can change the color, but this is what it's going to do. Now you see how we manually deleted around it. If you delete the background, that's how that's going to come out, if that's what you wanted to do. So when you go through and do that, you want to make sure you're actually getting it how you need and didn't miss anything. So I wanted to go through and show you what that would look like if you manually go through and get rid of the background. And it's okay, I keep going through and doing all of this myself. It is all right. I just want to show the process of what would happen. So if we remove the background ourselves by bringing in the picture again, this one works 10 times better. Now, if we want to restore anything, as you can see, we did hit the automatic background remover, and as you can see, there's some things that need to be restored. We can zoom in and we have our brush here, and now we can go in and actually brush around to get the fullness of our dandelion back of anything we missed here, which is exactly what I want. I don't want to miss any of my dandelion, so we're going to go in and just paint around, because at the end of the day, the sticker is going to have a white background, so it's okay that some of it is showing through, and it's also going to help us, it's going to help guide us a little bit for when we go to print out that sticker. So I'm actually going to go ahead and paint in a little bit around our stem here. And then I'm going to round it out around our dandelion just a little bit more to give it a nice edge. And then even here, I'm going to do like one click around the floating dandelions that are here. As you can see, it's giving me more detail for them for when they're coming through. Anything that was missed, I want to be able to see them because this is what's making our image and what it is. So, and if you wanted to do this, you could also go in manually. If you go into custom, I like to get this somewhere so we can visually see it a little bit better with that in the way. If you go to custom, you can go in and drag and drop. And as you do this, as you can see, now it's all one, which actually doing a custom border is going to be a lot better for us because I want it to be as one little bubble. As you can see, all of those black lines, that is going to create it as one sticker. If you have it individually cut like that, it's going to be its own sticker. So I want it all to be one. I'm going to see how close I can get it. Looks like 33 is going to be the magic number, which I'm okay with. 33, again, that's like my number. So this is our finished sticker that we're going to do. This is how I want it to be as one. You want that outline to be all one sticker. If it's not, then everything is going to be individualized. I know this seems like a lot of different steps, but I wanted to show you the different ways and different things of visually seeing it, of what you may want and what you may not want. Sometimes you want individual stickers inside of a sticker, and that's fine, but you also may want just one whole sticker, and that's it. That's how it's going to be. This is how I would normally do my own stickers, and I like doing a kiss cut around the die cut because it also gives you a peel effect that's way easier to peel off of a sticker compared to before. Now, a couple things I could do. I could go in and smooth this out a little bit better, but me personally, I don't know. It gives it a little bit of extra touch to it because allergies are crazy. So it's not perfect, but it's okay, and I'm still here for it. So what we're going to do is we are going to size it how we would want. This is about a 4-inch sticker right now. I'm going to bring this down to about a 3.5 sticker. Now, it does not matter where it's at. I like to just put it up here. It looks like it's about a 3.5 by almost a 4-inch sticker. If we want to leave it at that size, we're going to do Control C for copy, and then we're going to do Control V as we are going to go ahead and paste it. So now if we want to do it this way, we can go ahead and start creating our sticker. I'm going to go ahead and hit make. You can save if you want to. I'm not going to save this one. So this is the size of our sticker that we have. So if you want to get as much as possible on a sheet, this may need to be a little bit smaller. If you want to make 2, then you're going to go up to the top left hand side and hit apply, and we're going to see if we can hit more than 2 on a sheet, and right now we can't. So if we want to go back to resize this, we absolutely can. We can bring this down a little bit smaller. This is going to be about exactly a 3 and by kind of 2.5 sticker. We're going to go ahead and let that get itself settled. We can hit make, and now we can probably fit maybe 4 on here. So now we can fit 4 stickers on one placement. So that's how that is looking and working right now. This is how the sticker will print off on your printer, and then we'll be able to go from there to get our stickers. So we have 8.5 by 11-inch paper. We don't need to mirror image this, and this is already going to be loaded onto a mat. So once you have your sticker exactly how you want it on your mat, everything is set. When you do it, you want to make sure everything is in between those red lines of the sticker, which in our case, we are good. I leave enough space just in case anything does go askew that we can still save our sticker. From here, this is where you're going to connect your Cricut to your printer. The computer I am on right now is not connected to my printer or connected to my Cricut. That is my work laptop that is in the other room. But the steps of this, you're going to send it to your printer, and then I will show you from that computer what that will look like. Okay, so we're in our Cricut design space that is attached to my printer and my Cricut. So we're going to pick up where we left off when I hit continue. It is now searching for my Cricut. I do have it hardwired. I don't really use Bluetooth because sometimes I step away and it disconnects. So this is where we're going to attach our Cricut to our printer. This is showing exactly how it will print out on our paper that is now loaded in our printer. And then as long as we're happy with that, we're going to go from there. We're going to go ahead and let it find our printer and click on the printer that is ours. We are not going to do an add bleed. So everything is set. Our paper's in there. This is our correct printer. We're going to turn off bleed, and we're going to go ahead and go to print. So now our printer is going to pick up our workings, and then it's also going to print everything out, and we're going to get set up with that. These are the laminate and paper that I like to use. I like to use the A-Sub printable vinyl sticker paper. This is a matte white. It is 8.5 by 11, and I get 50 sheets. This is the laminate that I like to use. This one comes in 40 sheets. This is a little bit bigger than the 8.5 by 11, so there is some cutoff that we use. This is transparent. I stick it over my sticker. This is long-term protection. This also gives me a more of a waterproof feel. So this is how the laminate looks when it comes out. And then this is the paper, so you can have a little closer look on how much bigger it is. It's not by a lot, but I really like using this laminate. So let's go ahead and get everything sent over from our Cricut into our printer, and let's load up our sheet as well. And as you can see here, our sticker did come out really well. Now we're gonna go ahead and take our laminate and we're gonna get this covered over. If you know about Cricut, sometimes when you put a laminate over the sticker, sometimes these sensors are really hard to see, but at the end, this laminate works really, really well with this, and our texture of how clear our picture came in did come well. It just won't focus on my camera. All right, we have our stickers ready to go. We have our laminate here. One thing that I do with my laminate is that it is really hard to grab. So what I do is I grab one of my pickers that I use to tweed on my Cricut, and I kind of make a little bitty spot in a corner that I can grab easy, and then that makes it easy to peel. That's a little trick that I just started doing because sometimes my nails are done and I cannot grab anything. From here, I grab this little bitty corner, and then I can start getting it on my paper. I have my scraper that I'm going to use. The only thing with this one is that most laminates come with like an edge that you can just take off. This one does not. So I usually only take off a little bit at a time at the top. So then that way it's easy to just squeegee it down a little bit easier. And sometimes I just stick with a corner. This is actually why I like that it does have a little bit more on here. It's a little bit bigger than the paper, so I can work with that. So sometimes I may layer this a little bit further out, so it actually doesn't 100% line up. And then I take my scraper and I even that out, and then underneath I grab my paper and then I slowly pull it. I could go fast, but sometimes I just want to make sure that it's really going on flat. And depending on your surface, sometimes it's good to stick it to your surface because then you won't move. So if I move this up a little bit, I stick this to my surface. So then I can actually have it flat, and then I can go through and just peel. I like having this big one because then I can do more of the surface a lot easier. So now I can flatten out anything. Try and go in one swift movement. Sometimes I catch myself not going in one swift movement, so it gets a little tricky. And then we can pick up our edge, and now we have that covered. So from there, what I actually do is I go ahead and just bend this over. I usually try and only keep it on one edge, but this one I got a little bit off. And this is gonna stick to our sticky mat anyway, but I don't want any extra stick that I don't need. That's the only thing I did different this time, is that I usually try and do a right angle on one side. So then I only have to fold over the bottom edge and the long edge, but it happens. It's still gonna come out the way we need it to. So now let's go ahead and grab our sticky mat. We have our mat. Mine has seen some better days, but it still works. It's still great, and we make it do what we can. This is going to go in your top corner very easily, and you'll line it up as such, as best as you can, with the top line and your side line, which can be a little tricky, especially when you're trying to get it as close as possible. And sometimes it goes well. All right, so then we go ahead and push that down. I don't really add a lot of pressure because we really don't need to. It is on our mat. Now we're gonna get it loaded up into our Cricut. When getting set up with your set base material, most of my stickers I don't really use a lot. I usually just stick with our printable sticker paper clear no liner. That tends to work just fine for me. I set it to my normal kiss cut pressure and my die cut pressure. I haven't had any problems. Of course, it will just depend on how new your needle is, but mine is still fairly new, so I don't need to change any of that pressure. All right, we have our cut that we can go ahead and pull out, and now we're gonna have our fun tweeting session. All right, so we have our stickers all cut out. What I like about the die cut stickers is that, well, the kiss cut die cut stickers, it does the main outline and then it does our inner outline. So what I normally do is I go through and I pull out the outer border. Kind of hard doing this when you're holding it in your hand at the same time, but we pulled that out, and now we have our border so we can put our sticker in there. All right, so let's continue doing that all the way through. And of course you could peel all of this off first and then do it, but this is like a fun little step that I like to do with our stickers. And then we can go ahead on and start peeling this off. Our mat just a little bit. This will also help because sometimes the paper does stick to the mat. So I like to just go in pieces like this to make sure that our paper isn't ripping from the back onto the mat, which sometimes it still may happen, but if it does, it's an easy fix. And then that one went ahead and wanted to come off on its own. And see, this is what I mean. Like sometimes the remainder of the paper wants to stick. And then also this could also be just a needle situation too, which I said I have been using mine a lot. So it's probably getting to that point where I need to get a newer needle, but it still cut it pretty well. And that's an easy cleanup that we can do on the edges of our sticker there. And now we have 4 Kiss Cut die cut sticker bases. And like I said, this is a Kiss Cut base because it gives you that die cut cutout feel. But now when you go to place your sticker, it is easy peel. Compared to if it's a full die cut, it'll go to the straight edge. And sometimes even when I do a straight edge, I accidentally rip my sticker because I'm trying to take the backing off of it. I prefer to do it this way because of the ease of just bend, fold, and now you have your sticker. So let me know down in the comments, what do you think of being able to use Canva and Cricut together? I hope you guys have some fun and get really creative with what you can stack, drop, and make into pictures. Have fun with Canva. There's a ton of other different things that you can do with Canva. This was just something basic if you want to get started in a sticker business. And again, if you would like to purchase any of my stickers or any of my stationaries and etc., my links will be down below for Etsy and for Shopify. Remember that Etsy does have a little bit more accessories, and my Shopify is mainly just my stationaries and my stickers. So don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that little bell so you don't miss any of the next videos, and I'll be sure to catch you next time.